exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago Cougars here on MLB The Show 22. It is the off-season, the first off-season of the season. Off-season of the season? Off-season of the save is what I wanted to say. And we did not make the postseason, which is obviously what we wanted to do. But I don't think we did it well enough because we didn't finish with the worst record in the league because there was teams worse than us. But that's okay. I started the rebuild now with a lot of young pieces. We're still going to be looking for some young pieces in this episode in the offseason in free agency and probably with some trades. And there's one big trade that I want to try and get done. I think we can get done because I've been talking about in previous episodes how I wanted to have, you know how some teams, most teams, when you think about that team, you think about a certain player like the Angels, you think about Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani. Or you think about the Yankees, you think about Garrett Cole or Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge or something like that. Like, we need to have a guy on this team. And we have Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso. That's a positive. But I want to have a pitcher who is our ace, who is the guy that when you think of the Chicago Cougars and you think of who's going to take the mound from on opening day, I want this guy to be our ace. And I have a guy in mind, and I think we can get it done, but I'm going to save that for the actual episode so that it's a little bit of a teaser for you guys. So let's get in the episode so we can take a recap of what happened in the postseason. Hope you guys do go and enjoy. If you do, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get into it. So here we are in the offseason. The World Series has been wrapped up. It went 7 games, which is amazing. The Dodgers and the Mariners, and the Dodgers barely escaped with the World Series trophy, 4-3. Very good World Series, very good postseason. A lot of big-time series in the postseason. A lot of good teams. In the last episode, we took a good look at like our regular season stats and all that stuff, and this is our starting rotation for the season. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have these guys. All 4 of these guys are gonna stay. But I think we're either going to move James Caprillion to the bullpen as a long reliever because he's still a very solid pitcher at B potential, 79 overall, 28 years old. He's had a really decent season in terms of like his stats and stuff. So I think we either trade him in the trade to get the ace that I want, or we move him to the long relief position and have him in the bullpen. That's another possibility. I like the bullpen. I could use another arm in the bullpen. I like Adam Kolarek. I like AJ Minter. I like Jeffrey Springs, and I obviously like James Karinchak. So, and I like Danny Jimenez too, who is only, actually he's 28 years old. I thought he was a little bit younger than that, but he is a very good pitcher. He throws hard. I like him. So that's what the bullpen's looking like. The lineup is very solid. We've got Jazz Chisholm. So we've got our second baseman figured out. We've got our first baseman / right fielder situation figured out. Obviously, we could make him the DH if we need to. He's the defending Rookie of the Year, by the way. The defending American League Rookie of the Year. So, I mean, we could get a new right fielder and then move him to DH. That's a possibility. Left fielder, I'm not sold on. Austin Meadows is a very good player. He's still pretty young at 26 years old. But I'm not sold on Austin Meadows as our left fielder for the future, mainly because of his defensive stats. He's got really good defensive stats, but he's not the fastest guy in the world, and I like my outfielders to be pretty fast, or decently fast. Pete Alonso, we've got our first baseman. Shortstop, we've got our first base. At least for now, we could switch shortstops because obviously Francisco Lindor is making a ton of money for a long time. So, I mean, it's not sold that Francisco Lindor is going to be our shortstop for the future, but for at least the next couple of seasons, he will be. DH, like I said, could switch between Alejandro Kirk and Spencer Torkelson. Sean Murphy is our starting catcher for now, but we could move on from him, or we keep him around as really the only guy that's been here since the start. the original Oakland A, I guess you could say. Bobby Witt Jr. is probably going to be our third baseman for the future, and Ramon Laureano's not sold at center field. So basically, all of our outfield positions are up for grabs. Ramon Laureano, I would like to have as a bench guy coming in like certain situations against lefty pitchers or maybe righty pitch, like just in a pinch hitting role. I would like to have him off the bench. So any of our outfield positions are up for grabs, I guess, but the infield's pretty much sorted. Then you got Joe Adell, who we brought up on the September call-ups. I think I'm going to keep him down in the minors for another season just because I needed to bring him up just because we needed to bring somebody up in September, and he was just the best guy available. Then Leody Taveras, I do like Leody Taveras, and I think having him on the team as a backup like speed guy to come in and pinch run could be a good option for us. Shea Langoliers is our backup catcher, a potential 24 years old, had a decent season, and I think he's going to be up here as... Actually, no. I think Shea also came up in the September call-ups. I think I'm going to keep him down in the minors as well because we've got Alejandro Kirk and we've got Sean Murphy, and plus whatever we do if we change catchers in the offseason. I don't know. Then we've got Robert Poisson, who I learned how to say his name in the last couple episodes, and I love him now that I know how to say his name because it's French, and I love it. So he is going to... Actually, it's Dominican. I shouldn't be so stereotypical. He's from the Dominican Republic. But I do like Robert, and I think I'm going to keep him on the team. Maybe in the big leagues, depending on what we do in free agency, I might get a backup shortstop that's higher overall. I don't know, but for right now, he's going to be our backup shortstop, and he can play no other secondary position, so he can only play shortstop. You think that a shortstop could play second base, but I don't know. Max Muncie is also here, not the Dodgers Max Muncie. This is the young 19-year-old Max Muncie. He's probably going to go down to the minors. Basically, this offseason, I'm going to get some depth because this team doesn't really have a lot of that. I traded a lot of it away, and I'm going to send a lot of these younger guys down to develop even more so that in a couple seasons or maybe even next season, they're a higher overall. They can come up and impact the team even more than what they did this season. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of how we're going to work this offseason. We took a look at the awards last year, but the World Series MVP goes to Mookie Betts. The postseason MVP goes to Jesse Winker, who had 7 home runs, 14 RBIs, and a .426 average in the postseason. That's absolutely crazy. But I think we took a look at all the awards. We saw Spencer Torkelson won the AL Rookie of the Year. The NL Rookie of the Year was O'Neill Cruz. So that's what we're working with. We've got an award winner. We got a couple of award winners, actually. So let's go to the postseason. We've got pitching coach, and we've got some coaching contracts that we need to work out. But the retirements, we've got 2 pitchers who retire on just ability. They're getting, they couldn't get anything going. Any big ones? Rich Hill retires. That's a decent one. Nelson Cruz retires. That's a massive one. He might be a Hall of Famer, actually. I don't know. Are we going to see Miguel Cabrera or Albert Pujols retire? Sergio Romero retires. That's another big one. We do not see Miguel Cabrera. He's still going. But are we going to see Albert Pujols? We will not see Albert Pujols unless they both weren't on a team. That's also a possibility because they were super old. But I don't think that's going to be a thing. So, no. So, is Nelson Cruz going to be a Hall of Famer? He's not. I feel like Nelson Cruz is a Hall of Fame player. Just in my opinion. So, we've got Anthony Bennett, who is our manager. But he could be on the way out. He's got an A attribute grade, but he does have -3 hits per 9. The hitting coach. Is there a decent hitting coach? There's a lot of good ones with A potential. I like this Tyson Bermudez. Let's offer him. He's got A potential. Or he's got an A attribute grade, and he's also got pluses in all of his categories, so we will go for that. But I do want to see the managers for hire. Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts is available. He got fired. That's a very interesting one. I'm very intrigued by that. I might want to hire Dave Roberts, or at least throw an offer at him. What's the worst that could happen? There's some decent other managers for hire that we could go for if we don't go for, like this guy, Ken Quinn seems to be pretty good. But Dave Roberts, I wanna hire him. Yeah, let's fire Anthony Barnett. He was never gonna be the guy, but I'm gonna offer Dave Roberts. We'll see if he accepts that. Let's go pitching coach now. Lee Bong, Kelvin Cho, John Salazar. Let's go for that. Let's offer him a decent contract. And does that say Aaron Boone was available? It did say Aaron Boone as a first base coach. That's interesting. but we don't really need that. I like the guys that we have. The farm director could be, actually, no, let's get rid of this first base coach. He's garbage. Let's hire a new first base coach, and it could be Aaron Boone. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's just bring in all the big boys. Aaron Boone. Who else do we need? This guy's not horrible. We'll keep him around. And then Will Harder, hardly know her. I kind of want to keep Will Harder now that I know his name is Will Harder. That's kind of a funny name. Farm directors. Is there a decent one? Ken Quinn seems to be pretty good. And I was going to hire him for the manager spot, but let's offer him the farm director spot and see what happens. So we're changing up basically our entire coaching staff. We'll see what happens there. Rebrand the team. I have seen that people want me to change the logo on the hat to be what's on the jersey. So I will go and do that really quickly right now, and then the next time you see me, hopefully that's what's on the hat. Okay, so I have rebranded the team. The team has now the logo on the hat. As you can see, we now have the Cougars logo on the hat, so that's what we're going to be working with for now. And we've got exclusive free agency. Actually, we don't have anybody in exclusive free agency. Everybody's so young that we don't have anybody. We have 81 million. Are we going to have a lot of money in free agency? I hope so. That's going to be pretty cool if we do. Aaron Boone has accepted the first base coaching job. That's awesome. Are we going to need to... Ooh, we're going to need to add an offer on Dave Roberts. It looks like we're going to have to pay a little bit more money than I would have thought for Dave Roberts, but he is a pretty decent guy, so we'll go with that contract. 4 years, $40 million for Dave Roberts. What about our other guys? Submitted offers. Ken Quinn's got a better offer, so we will bump up his money, and that makes it a lot better. And then everybody else seems to be pretty good. So these guys are pretty old, too. 66 and 60. I didn't realize they were so old. That's okay. Ken Quinn has accepted the Rockies offer. That's not what I wanted. Didn't we just offer him a new contract? Dave Roberts is still fighting for... We're still fighting for Dave Roberts. But now we need a third base coach. I think Ken Quinn was the third base guy that we were going to go for. And Dale Perkins doesn't have an offer. So, oh no, that's not the right guy. Who is the guy that we need? Oh, it's farm director. Farm director was Ken Quinn. So we will go to farm directors, and we will look for a decent guy. Willie Harris. Let's make an offer on Willie Harris. And that should be pretty good. All right, let's go to the next day. Willie Harris is our new farm director. Awesome, but we still don't have Dave Roberts. I'm getting a little worried. Dave Roberts. Ooh, Tyson Bermudez got a new offer from the Marlins, so we will bump his contract up. He likes that. I'll even offer you a little bit. Oops. John Salazar will offer you a little bit more money as well, just so everybody wants to accept, because I really want them to. Tyson Bermudez is the new hitting coach. We just need Roberts and Salazar, pitching coach and manager. That's all we need. We go to qualifying offers. Did we get anybody? We don't have them yet. We still are in the lead for both of them. And we're offering better money for each of these guys, so we'll see what happens here. Do we have anything here? This is exclusive free agency and stuff like that. What's this stuff? Mike Trout was activated off the injured list. So was Tatis. A lot of guys injured. Interesting. Didn't realize that. Salazar's our new pitching coach, so we're just waiting on the boy, Dave Roberts. Coach contracts. We're still in the lead for him. I'll even bump his money up a little bit more. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. $42 million over 4 years for Dave Roberts. All right. I think it's free agency time. It is free agency time. And here is the class. Oh, it's a massive one. It is a master class of players here to rebuild this team. Aaron Judge is 30 years old. He could be our right fielder. But Trey Turner's 29. Max Muncie's 32. The other Max Muncie. Joey Gallo is 29. Do we need like a big power hitter? I think we do. We have Pete Alonso, but other than that, we don't have like a guy that people are scared of to pitch around. That would be a Joey Gallo or an Aaron Judge alongside Pete Alonso. We could have two guys that are like absolute power hitters. Then we could have Torkelson play the DH, or I guess we could have Judge or Gallo play DH. Doesn't really matter. Okay, interesting. Tender contracts. We do have a few of these guys that we got to bring back, like Caprillion. But there is one trade that I want to try and make. And it might be pretty difficult because we're into free agency and the offseason and stuff. He doesn't have a contract. Alek Manoah is the guy. He's the guy that I want to be our ace. He went 17-12 last year with a 3.81 ERA. I want Alek Manoah to be our ace. That's the guy that I've been talking about. That's who I want. So we have salary arbitration as well. Okay. We got a few guys in here. Sean Murphy's got arbitration, tender contracts. Okay, so I'm going to do Caprillion. We're going to make an offer on him. A 4-year deal is pretty hefty. I don't really want to do that. But if we do a 2-year, $6.5 million deal, he should accept this. And then I'm gonna do all this off camera. I'm gonna bring all these guys back for depth, obviously, off camera, so you don't have to see that because that's kind of boring. But I will get the main guys. Let's go for an offer on Sean Murphy. It's better to have an offer on him than a contract. Or it's better to have than an arbitration is what I meant to say. So we're going to drop this down as much as we can with him still being interested. And we're going to give him about 2 years, $7 million. We'll see if he accepts that. Karen Chak we're going to offer, but I don't want to offer him too much money. We need to save as much money as possible, especially if we want to go for Aaron Judge or Joey Gallo, because they're going to want a ton of money. And we're already paying a pretty decent penny to Francisco Lindor. I'll offer a 2-year contract to Ramon Laureano as well. Basically, these contracts are kind of going... I'm going for team-friendly contracts so that we can trade them to other teams. So other teams want them. AJ Minter, I'll offer a contract to as well. I like AJ Minter a lot. He came in and played very, very well in the spot starts that he had, or spot bullpen appearances that he had. Jeffrey Springs, I want to bring back, and I want to bring Jeffrey back on a decent contract. He is 30 years old, though, but I like... He pitched very, very well. Adam Kolarek, I want to bring back certainly on a 2-year, $2 million deal. And then we'll just offer arbitration on these other guys. Let's just go for $1 million for him. And then we'll offer Austin Pruitt. Let's offer him $900,000. There we go. So we'll offer those guys. We offer these guys contracts. And then the last two guys are arbitration. And then the tender contracts, we already offered Caprillion, so I'm going to go and I'm going to offer all of these guys contracts on their tendered contracts, and then I will see you guys back when we get to actual free agency when I'm going to offer the big contract. Okay, so I got done offering all those guys. That took a little bit longer than I thought, but it's all right. And now we make it to the big time free agency. This is where we want to be. This is where we're going to improve the team in the short term, but also help us in the long term depending on who's here. So obviously we've got Aaron Judge. That's the big time. That's the big fish, along with Joey Gallo. Those two guys are automatic, like just absolute big fish. And Aaron Judge certainly would be that guy that I'm talking about, where you think of the Chicago Cougars, you think of Aaron Judge. The only problem is he's 30. Now, Joey Gallo's not that much younger. He's only 29. But Joey Gallo can play almost double the positions that Aaron Judge can play. Judge can only play the outfield. And if we need to, Gallo can play first base and third base. I don't think we would ever put him at first base. Maybe first base. But I don't think we'd ever put him at third base. But he can play outfield and first and third. So Joey Gallo is certainly an option. Nobody's got an offer yet. How did he do last year? 35 home runs, 91 RBIs, 243 average. Better than what he did the previous 2 seasons. His on-base percentage was .357, slugging .505. He had a really good year. Very, very good year. 861 OPS. Joey Gallo's our guy. Joey Gallo is the big fish that we're going to go after. Now, we are going to be paying a ton of money for him, just like we're paying to Francisco Lindor. But a 5-year, $96 million deal for Joey Gallo, I think, is the right move. Now, we need a start. Do we need a starting pitcher? I don't think we do. Unless what I do is, because Hunter Greene's still a pretty low overall. So if I get Alek Manoah and then I bring in somebody else, maybe like a Mike Clevenger, he's 32. Joe Musgrove is 30. Thor is 30 as well. There's Sean Manaea, who we had. Oh, we didn't have. Actually, we did have. Yeah, we had him. He's played for Chicago, it said. So throws me off because he's wearing a Padres jersey in the picture. Luis Severino's 29. I don't really want Severino. Corey Kluber, Sonny Gray, don't want. There's not really a guy down here that I want. Chris Archer's already 34. That's pretty crazy to think about. I remember when he was coming in. Charlie Morton's not what I want. When did he debut? He debuted in 2012. I remember that. I think if we're going to bring... Because if we take a look at our pitcher rotation, I mean, we're going to probably move... We're probably going to move Caprillion for Manai or Alek Manoah. He's probably going to have to be in that deal. So then we'd have Tristan McKendry, Manoah, Jack Leiter, and then Grayson Rodriguez and Hunter Greene. But these two guys are pretty low overall, and they struggled last season in their first year in the bigs. So should they have another year in development in AAA? Maybe. I mean, Tristan McKenzie struggled too. They maybe should have another year in development, which is why I kind of think we need to get a starting pitcher to go alongside. We're not going to try and outbid for Aaron Nola. We're certainly not going to try and outbid for Clayton Kershaw, which would be kind of cool, but we don't need Clayton Kershaw. I do like Mike Clevenger. I'm very intrigued by that. I'm very intrigued by Mike Clevenger. That's about the only one that I'm intrigued by. And we wouldn't have to offer him a crazy amount of money. Like, if we get him on a 3-year deal and we raise the money up, he had a decent season. Nothing crazy, but he had a decent season. I mean, also, Mike Clevenger could be trade bait, too. I mean, that's also a possibility. Relief pitchers, we could use another relief pitcher, but is there anybody here that I want? I don't know if there is. Seth Lugo is interesting. Will Smith is also interesting. Chad Greene, 83 overall. He's only 31. 27 saves. .99 ERA. Chad Greene had a great year out of the bullpen. In 54 innings, Chad Greene might be the guy, but that's way too much money for him. Or way too many years. I don't like paying my relief pitchers that much money, but 11.8 over 2 years. I don't think that's that bad. Closing pitcher we've got with Karinchak, so I don't think we need that. Catcher, I don't think there's a replaceable option here. I mean, we have Sean Murphy. We don't really need to replace him. If I'm going to replace him, I'm going to replace him for somebody better than Wilson Contreras. Max Muncie at first base. We don't really need a first baseman because we've got Pete Alonso, so I'd only be looking for like a bench guy coming off the bench. There's Albert Pujols. Does he still have his power? He doesn't really have his power. His power has gone, and he's got 0 speed. Albert Pujols has 0 speed. That's crazy. Ryan Zimmerman's retired as well, but he's here. Carlos Santana, Miguel Sano, Josh Bell, Yuli Gurriel, Trey Mancini, Jose Abreu. I don't really like any of the first basemen here. Second base, Adam Frazier, Cesar Hernandez, Rugden Odor, Wilmer Flores. I don't think there's a second baseman here as well. I don't think there's anybody that I'm intrigued by. Third base, a lot of old guys. Maikel Franco, who could have been a stud, but he didn't really pan out. I remember when he debuted in 2016. He was a beast when he debuted. But I don't think there's anything here for us at third base. Now, shortstop is intriguing because you got Trey Turner, but I don't think we're going to outbid for the Dodgers. The Dodgers are just paying too much money, and I don't want to pay that much money for a shortstop, especially when we have Francisco Lindor. So it's not like we're not in desperate need of a shortstop. But I could use somebody off the bench that intrigues me, like nobody here, I guess. I was thinking maybe we go for one of these guys, like Tim Anderson or Dansby Swanson, but I'm not going to go for one of these guys when they're expensive and they just be coming off the bench. It just wouldn't be worth it. So then, obviously, left field, we've got the offer on Joey Gallo, but I didn't really take a look at anything other than Joey Gallo. So we've got Andrew McCutchen. We've got Tommy Pham. Jock Peterson's intriguing me. I'm not really sure if there's anything here. Chris Davis is still in the league? I didn't realize that. He had some great seasons in Oakland. Some fantastic. 2018 was a good season. 2016 to 2018 was great seasons for him. But he hasn't done anything for a while. Left field, I don't think there's anything. Center field, I don't think so. Lorenzo Cain's not really that good anymore. He was good on that Royals championship team. Jake Marincic? No. Billy Hamilton maybe for speed, I guess, but he can't do anything else. Enrique Hernandez, Kevin Kiermaier, no. And then Aaron Judge, Adam Duvall. Whit Merrifield for speed. He's a very utility guy. He had a decent season. Nothing crazy. And the Red Sox are offering him a contract. Could I get him on a cheaper deal, but still like better than what the Red Sox are offering? Maybe. He might accept that. So our offers are Joey Gallo, Mike Clevenger, Chad Greene, and Whit Merrifield. That's not really a crazy free agency class, but there's just nothing there that we need, I think. I think we could do better in trading, basically, is what I'm thinking right now. So I think we should advance a day. The Cougars have reached the maximum roster spot. Yes, I would like to stop simulating. Max Muncie goes to the Astros. Aaron Judge to the Pirates. Very interesting, but we've reached too many players because I think a lot of these guys must have signed. Yeah, it looks like a lot of these guys signed. And then salary arbitration, most of these guys have signed as well. So we need to release some people. Let's get rid of, I think roster spots are just this, right? Like we can just release these guys. I think so. I'm not sure how this works. Miguel Romero will release you. You're not going to be anything for us. Neither are you. Neither are you. Grant Holmes, it can get released. Vince Fernandez can get released. Just basically getting rid of all these old deep potential guys that we don't need anymore. All right, so how's that? Is that good enough? Can we sign anybody now? I need to go check for agency and make sure that we still have offers on these guys. So offers, oh, we don't have any offers on them anymore? Okay, so we need to re-up on Joey Gallo. What was I offering him? 5 years, $96 million, I think is what I put in. So we'll go back to that. We'll go 96 and a half. 96 and a half, and then I offered Whit Merrifield a deal, a 2-year deal. I remember that. And then I offered starting pitcher Mike Clevenger a deal. It was was it a 4-year deal or a 3-year? I can't remember. We'll just offer him. I think it was a 3-year deal actually. But we will, and he's also for trade bait too. So we'll go there. And then who was the other guy? It was Clevenger, Gallo, Whit Merrifield, and then there was somebody else that I offered a contract to. I don't remember who it is. Unless we already signed him. Maybe we already signed him. Did we sign him already? Oh, it was Chad Greene. Chad Greene accepted the contract. Perfect. So he's back, or he's here now. So we got another good bullpen piece. That's awesome. And I don't think we need to offer anybody else because we've offered these guys already. So let's go another day and see what happens. Colin McHugh goes to the Cardinals from the Braves for Paul DeYoung and Levy Prater. Okay, interesting. Did we get more guys here? Free agency, we still have offers on these 3 guys. We're still in the lead for all 3 of these guys. Okay, we go another day. And we go back. Still in the lead. Although Whit Merrifield's contract discussions are pretty intense. Still got Joey Gallo. We're still in the lead for all 3 of these guys. The contracts, we've gotten a lot of the main ones. These guys are still trying to come in. Salary arbitration, these guys are still offering their contracts. I mean, I offered James Karinchak a good contract. I don't know why he doesn't accept it. I should probably want to make sure that I don't have a ton of guys still on the roster. So let's keep releasing people just to make sure. This guy was an all-star, so we'll keep him around. But this guy, no. This guy we'll keep because he's young. There we go. A couple more guys got released. Dave Roberts has accepted the Cougars manager job. I think that's the last contract we were looking for. It is. Okay, I'm liking the way that we got Aaron Boone at first base. That's awesome. Okay, Alek Manoah re-signed on a 1-year deal, $700K for the Blue Jays. So we're not gonna have to pay him very much if we trade for him. Salary arbitration, those guys are still working. Free agency, we're still working on that too. All right, come on. I need to see some big time bucks. Karinchak accepted. Karinchak is back. That's awesome. Look at all these top 50 prospects at closing pitcher we have. The free agency class is not really like, there's not really many big guys signing right now. Everybody's taking a while to decide what they want to do. The Cougars are no longer afford the contract of Joey Gallo because we signed Mike Clevenger. Wilson Contreras goes to the Phillies. We can't afford Joey Gallo anymore. That is very disturbing. I don't like that. Now we are going to certainly have to go and trade. Now that I know that Alek Manoah signed his contract, we can go to the Blue Jays and we can go for Alek Manoah. So we're going to have to throw Caprillion into the deal. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough to try and get him on the roster. But I do have a lot of potential closing pitchers that you might want. You want Miguel Ojeda? I can throw you a potential closing pitcher. And then we're going to have to throw you somebody very good. What about that guy? Ooh, I don't know if this is going to go through. Austin Meadows doesn't even push it through. I don't know if this can go through. We'd have to give them somebody of very high value. And still, I don't think that would go through. Like, Jazz Chisholm doesn't even get it anywhere near. Neither does Bobby Witt or Frankie Lindor. Alek Manoah might be impossible to trade for, at least with what we're offering. Man, I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming. Is there a suggested trade? What about if I take away my guys? Starting pitcher, take away that closing pitcher. Is there a suggested trade? No, nothing that I could offer is good enough, I guess. Mike Clevenger wouldn't even get it done. Oh, I didn't think it was going to be that hard to get him. This is interesting. I did not see this coming. Okay, maybe we rethink Alek Manoah. Man, I really wanted him too. Oh, Shohei hasn't signed a contract yet? I really thought that it was gonna be Alek Manoah was our guy, but I guess not. I guess he's not our guy. So who's the guy then? I want a starting pitcher. I want an ace. But I don't see anybody. Man, that sucks. That sucks. Okay, and we don't have enough money to get, what's his face? Joey Gallo. We did sign everybody else, but Joey Gallo is the one guy that we probably won't be able to afford. The Dodgers, of course, have enough money to afford him. But we just don't have the budget to afford him, especially now that we're paying Clevenger. But remember, Clevenger probably is a trade piece later on down the road. We've got some decent contracts. Obviously, I mean, Frankie's costing us a lot of money. Let's see if Joey Gallo gets signed. He's still available. We'll go a couple of days. 40-man roster. I need to make sure that I have everybody that I want on my 40-man. I don't want you on the 40-man. Do I need to make sure any of you guys? Basil Cabrera, I would like to have on the 40-man because he's got a decent overall. Same thing with Lewis McDonald. Don't want him to get out of our... That's our first overall pick. Or our first round pick, I should say. Don't want him to get out of the way. We got to remove another guy. So let's take Dalton Jeffries off. And put in Rick Woodson. Alright, everybody else can go if they want. Soderstrom's on already. Victor Gonzalez. Put him on. If I can. Okay, I can't. So, who else do we need to take off? We need to take off Jonah Bride. Yeah, we can take off Jonah Bride. He doesn't need to be on the 40-man. Neither does you. Not Class A. Removed from the 40-man. Everybody else should be on the 40-man. So we need to add... Who else should we add? Should we add one of our closers? Should we add our closers to the 40-man? We probably should, right? At least the big ones. Like you. Luther Curtis is a good one. And probably Doyle Atkinson. The other ones, I don't know if they'll get taken or not because they're such a low overall. Shea's already on. Soderstrom's already on. Prado's on. Carlton Raymond. A potential. I don't think he'll get taken. If he does, it's fine, I guess. Willie Rodriguez needs to be on. Not Class A. Oh, I can't put him on. Okay. Interesting. Batty's on. Poisson's on. I think everybody that we need to have on is on. Except for... Jordan Walker I want to have. So we need 2 spots to open up. Willie Rodriguez and Jordan Walker. I need to make sure are on the 40-man roster. So Rick Woodson I can take off because he's a low overall. We don't necessarily need him. And Kevin Smith I can take off. So let's put those guys on. So Jordan Walker, where's he at? Jordan Walker, there he is. So we'll add Jordan Walker, and we will add Willie Rodriguez to the 40-man. There we go. And I will move somebody down off the Major League roster, Joe Adell. We'll move him down to AAA. Okay, I think that's the 40-man that I wanted. Now we will go forward a couple days. Did Joey Gallo sign anywhere? Joey Gallo still hasn't signed anywhere. Dodgers and Angels are offering him contracts. These 2 guys need contracts, and then the rest of these guys are trying to sign contracts. Chicago has claimed Kirby Snead off waivers. That's not bad. Kevin Smith got claimed. Those 2 guys aren't like... They're not. It's not a bad thing that they got claimed. Is Joey Gallo not going to sign anywhere? I don't know. Pretty crazy. Let's keep moving a couple more days. Joey Gallo's still out there, and so is Aaron Nola. Nathan Eovaldi signs a 3-year, $60 million deal with the Dodgers. Interesting. But still Nola and Gallo and Clayton Kershaw and Taylor Rod. There's some good players here. We just don't have any money. All players must have contracts tendered by December 2nd. Kyle Schwarber traded to the Padres from the Phillies for Dinelson Lamet and Efrain Contreras. Very interesting trade. We've got some guys still. Those guys don't really matter if they sign or not. Simulating some more days, and they're still there. Joey Gallo, out of nowhere, the Nationals sign him on a 6-year, $90.6 million deal. The Nationals get a big man. Interesting. I didn't see the Nationals coming at all. There's the winter meetings. We go past that. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. gets traded to the Angels from the Blue Jays for a second baseman prospect in Brandon Marsh. Okay. Very interesting. Taylor Rogers signs a 3-year, $35 million deal with the Dodgers. So the Dodgers are spending a ton of money. And looks like they brought back Clayton Kershaw as well. There's still some decent guys available in free agency, but we just don't have enough money to offer them. And it looks like we are getting to the Rule 5 draft now. I don't think we're going to pick anybody. Oh, there goes Gunnar Hoglund. He was on our team. That's okay. I mean, he's not going to be a big miss if we don't have him on the team. We have a lot of pitchers anyway. But I don't think is there anybody else that was on our team? Let me go to all players really quick. KJ Harrison. Nobody major, it looks like, that was on our team that's in the Rule 5 draft, so we don't have to worry too much. It looks like I saved everybody but Gunnar Hoglund. Forgot about him, I guess. But Lewis Brinson would be about the only guy that I'd take, but that means we'd have to have him up on the big league roster. And he played in 89 games last year. Actually, in 2 years ago. He didn't play at all last year. He had 9 home runs, 33 RBIs. He's 28 years old. He's not worth it. He does have a potential, but he's not worth it. Is there a young guy that I could have on the team? I know sometimes there's some really young prospects that make it through here for some reason. Maybe I could take advantage of that, or maybe I couldn't, because it doesn't look like there's anybody here worth my time, so we will just most likely skip right through it. We don't need to do anything like that. We're going to skip our selection. We are going to skip our selection and not take anybody because we don't really need to use anybody, because if you know the Rule 5 draft, if you draft somebody, they need to be on your Major League roster the entire season, and I don't want that. So we will advance through the Rule 5 draft, and we will keep going a couple more days to see if any big names sign. Clayton Kershaw did re-sign with the Dodgers for a 1-year deal, but Aaron Nola is still out there. Nobody's picked up Aaron Nola yet, and he's still out there after a couple more days. Avisail Garcia traded to the Padres from the Marlins for Jurickson Profar, Eric Hosmer, and Adrian Morejon. Okay. Very interesting trades. Aaron Nola still has not signed. Joe Musgrove signs a 4-year, $72 million deal with the Pirates. But Aaron Nola's still out there, and Tim Anderson hasn't signed either. We're getting late. We're in January now, and these guys haven't agreed to contracts. We are getting into some deep times. Still available. We're into February now, almost ending the offseason. Tim Anderson re-signed on a 4-year, $42 million deal with the White Sox. Aaron Nola's got some offers from the Braves, the Rays, and the Giants. At least those are his top 3. I'm fine with the way that we got our roster looking. We're looking pretty good. We are probably going to move somebody down, probably you. Can you even go down to AAA? Do you have an option? You do have an option. So we're going to move you down to AAA. Wait, what'd that say? He's been offered salary arbitration. He cannot move to AAA at this time. Okay, so we'll keep you up here for now. You get to stay up here for now, okay? Aaron Nola, finally, 6-year, $169.2 million deal to the Braves. I was wondering when he was going to sign. The arbitration hearing, they sided with us, so we pay him $1 million. And then they side with the Cougars again, so we pay Austin Pruitt $900,000. All right, so the arbitration hearings work out for us. Zach Gallen, Kyle Tucker is also a guy that I wanted to get. But if we couldn't get Alek Manoah, we certainly can't get Kyle Tucker, right? I think that would be a little bit too hard to get. But now we can move that guy down to AAA, Guerrera. So we can send you down to AAA. And I think I'm going to... Where's that pitcher at? There's Lewis McDonald. We're going to move you up to AA because you're our prospect. You're our first overall pick. We're going to move you up to AA. We're going to move Cabrera up to AA. We're going to move all of the guys that we drafted last season up to AA, basically. And I think... Did we move... I don't remember if you were a draft pick or not. I can't remember who... I think Joshua Pugh was. We might as well move him up. He doesn't have very good stats, but might as well move him up. And then I don't think... Maybe one of these guys was. I can't remember exactly. And then we'll move some of these guys, or at least one of these guys, up to AAA. There we go. All right. Kyle Tucker is another guy that I want to see about trading for. I don't think it's going to be possible because he's very good. Kyle Tucker, 26-year-old, 88 overall. Austin Meadows. Oh, that's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. So now if I throw in some other stuff that you might want, we could get Kyle Tucker on the squad. It wouldn't be hard to do, I don't think. Do they want one of my catchers? I don't really want to give up one of my catchers. They're pretty good. Although Shea is 25. I don't know. I think we'll keep him around a little bit longer. What about one of my closing pitchers? I'll give you Miguel Ojeda. And then I'm going to need to add a star. And I don't think I have a star to add. Jack Leiter almost gets it through. I just don't know if I have the pieces to get it across the line. If I give them Joe Adele, it could work. What about if I throw in... Okay, so let me take off this stuff. Let me take away the closing pitcher. Let me add you or ask you right up. Okay, so they don't. Nothing that I have is willing to get it done. You sure about that? What about Ramon Laureano, Austin Meadows, and Ramon Laureano, or Leody Taveras, or Christian Patch? Come on, something's got to get it through. You're going to want something of mine, right? I would like to have Kyle Tucker on the squad. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I don't think I have enough. Sean Murphy almost gets it through. I have the pieces. I could package Austin Meadows, Torkelson, and then somebody else. But I don't want to do that. That'd be dumb. So I don't think for right now Kyle Tucker is an option to trade for. So we will continue to go. Let's keep simulating. Now we get to spring training. So we move to spring training now. Free agency. Zach Greinke made it. Josh Harrison. Some pretty good players made it to free agency. We have 9 players on the AAA roster in spring training. Are we going to be good? Ooh, we got to fix the lineups. Who needs to be fixed? Oh, it's, what position is that? Is that, oh, it's DH. Okay, so we will move, who's going to play DH for us? Probably Kirk, right? Or is Alejandro Kirk? He'll just be DH for us. Let's keep simulating. Let's see how we do in spring training. Oh, we're winning a bunch of games. We're above 500 in spring training. 17-9, not bad. Not bad at all. Spring training comes to an end. 19-10. Okay. The pitching rotation did pretty good. I'm still looking for a starting pitcher, Alek Manoah, preferably, and then I'm looking for Kyle Tucker. Those are the 2 guys that I'm intrigued by the most and that I want to get the most. But this is what our roster looks like at the start of season number 2. Chisholm, Torkelson, Meadows, Pete Alonso, Lindor, Kirk, Murphy, Bobby Witt, and then center field is Ramon Laureano. So it didn't really change that much since the last season. And the pitcher rotation is Caprillion, McKenzie, Jack Leiter, Grayson Rodriguez, and Hunter Greene, with the bullpen looking pretty good as well. I think we're going to be better than what we were last season, but I don't know if it's a playoff year. I just don't know if it is. We're first in speed, which is good. I just don't think this is going to be a playoff season for us. But that's going to do it for the video. Next episode is going to be opening day of season number 2. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.